What if the real Messiah was a woman who's been erased from history on purpose? And what if I told you there's an ancient gospel deliberately banned by the early church that says exactly this? This forbidden text is called Three Forms of First Thought, also known as Trimorphic Protanoia, and it reveals a huge secret that the Messiah isn't just a guy named Jesus, it's actually a woman named Barbelo. What, you've never heard of her? Well, of course not, because the church made sure that you wouldn't. Barbelo isn't just any woman. She's the first thought of God, and she annihilates traditional ideas of divinity. In the Three Forms of First Thought, she says, I wore Jesus. Wore Jesus. Like clothing. Jesus wasn't just her messenger, he was her avatar. Barbelo is saying she was literally moving through Jesus, speaking through him, and acting through him. And what if I told you that she wasn't just in Jesus, but that she's inside you right now? But see, according to this banned text, there's also a dark being and his offspring called archons that are keeping you from realizing the power that you really have. We're about to unravel the identity of this hidden female Messiah, expose the false god and his minions that are keeping humanity in darkness, and finally, we're going to reveal how this incredible knowledge empowers you to take back your divine power now. Our story starts not in some mystical heaven, but actually in the Egyptian desert in 1945. So picture this. Someone in the sands near Nag Hammadi stumbles upon a huge sealed jar. Now, I've seen enough movies to know you do not open giant jars buried in the Egyptian desert. That's basically ancient curse 101. But this guy, he opens it up anyway and hold on to your holy water, because what these were, they weren't just random books. They were forbidden gospels that were banned by the church authorities way back around 367 CE. Inside, there were 13 of these books that were hidden for over 1600 years. Bishops like Athanasius ordered that books like this were to be destroyed. But luckily for us, some brave soul, maybe a monk, couldn't bear to burn them and hid them in a jar, hoping that future generations, like us, might find them and see what the church was hiding. Because, you know, if there's one thing the early church loved, it was keeping you from thinking too hard. But what exactly made these texts so dangerous that someone risked their life to hide them? What forbidden truth was worth preserving at all costs? Turns out, a hell of a lot. But one of the biggest blasphemies of these texts was all about Barbelo. Who is she? Barbelo is the hidden queen of early Christianity, the first emanation of the source of all existence. Not the first created being, she's not a creature, but the first unveiling of God's own essence. So now just imagine the panic attack early church leaders must have had. A divine feminine power? That makes too much sense. Quick, hide it before people start respecting women. And speaking of respecting women, did you know that the New Testament explicitly demands that women be quiet? In 1 Timothy, it says, I do not permit a woman to teach or to assume authority over a man. She must be quiet. In 1 Corinthians, Paul doubles down on this, saying women should remain silent in churches. They are not allowed to speak, but must be in submission as